You've got to tune to KEXP listener-powered radio at 90.3 FM in Seattle, streaming around the world at kexp.org. I'm Cheryl Waters down in the KEXP studios with Khruangbin. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you.
You look amazing, and we absolutely love the new album Con Todo El Mundo. And you're going to start us off with a couple songs from that one?
Yep.
It's Khruangbin live on KEXP. Khruangbin live in the KEXP studios playing tonight at Numos, a new album, Con Todo El Mundo. Khruangbin live here in the KEXP studios, sounding amazing. Thank you so much for coming by today.
Thank you.
We're so happy to be here.
We've had a lot of excitement from our listeners leading up to the in-studio session, knowing that you were coming. So many people have had a chance to see you and have fallen in love with you. And you've toured quite a bit over the last few years. You spend a lot of time on the road, it sounds like.
Yeah, nonstop. Yeah.
You all say that with smiles on your faces. You incorporate so many different styles of music from so many different countries and eras. Have you had a chance to travel to a lot of the places whose music has influenced you?
We got lucky at the end of last year. We played a couple festivals, one in Thailand, one in India. So we got to kind of go around and go record shopping and reconnect.
Tell me how this group came together. How long have you known each other, and how long has this, or have you've played together in other groups as well? Can you give me just a little background?
Yeah.
So I met DJ when we both played at church in Houston, Texas in around 2004, 2005, something like that. We played there for like 10 years or so. I met Laura Lee through a mutual friend of mine. And she came by the house one day, and I was watching this documentary, and she was studying Near Eastern art. And so we connected on that, and then she started crashing me and DJ's post-rehearsal burger sessions at Rudyard's in Houston, Texas, and she never left. So we hung out together and had, a meal pretty much every week for maybe 2-3 years before we ever actually started playing in a band together.
Wow, and actually there's a very sweet story that, if it's true, you can't believe everything you read, but how the title of your last album came about.
The Universe Smiles Upon
Yeah,
Me.
can you tell that?
When I met Mark that day, he was watching a documentary on Afghani music, and it just blew my mind that anybody was watching something that was so similar to what I was interested in at the time. And he gave me a book. And that was sort of the only thing I had of his. And I found him on MySpace and sent him my number and was like, let's hang out. And I got a text from him weeks later, from an unknown number. And the text just read, "The universe smiles upon you." So that's that. It's become like the mantra of our band.
And I don't know if this is the story growing bigger into mythology, but in the article I read, it said that he didn't sign it, but you knew that it was him.
Oh yeah, I knew exactly who it was.
It's like kismet. It was meant to be. Well, how did the music start coming together then with the three of you?
Mark and Laura started going down to the barn and just kind of jamming. And one Tuesday night at our, burger hang, they were like, "Hey, we're going to start a band. You want to play drums?" And I was like, "Yeah, I hadn't played drums in a while. That's cool." So we linked up, and I started going down to the barn with them and practicing, and then we eventually ended up recording.
Now, DJ, I know that you're a producer of hip-hop, and obviously I've been reading up on you guys in an article. Mm-hmm. You said if it's a hip-hop band in Houston, I've worked with them.
Yeah, pretty much.
So you put your fingers in a lot of things. With all this touring, do you still find time to work on other projects and work with other local musicians?
I do. It's a lot of remote stuff from laptops when I'm on the road and on the bus, but it gets done. Yeah.
Sounds like you're very, very busy. It sounds like, Mark, that you were playing drums at first, and then you...
I was. And I wanted to play drums. I never get to play drums. That was the instrument I always wanted to play when I was a kid, but I couldn't afford it.
And did Laura talk you into playing the guitar?
She did.
I mean, who else is going to play guitar like Mark?
It is a wonderful sound in the band. I mean, you're mostly instrumental. You do have some vocals in your songs, but I feel like your guitar is the vocalist.
Yeah.
If there's a name for the guitar, then you can list that as vocalist on your albums because you have a very beautiful lyrical style.
Thank you.
How does that evolve for this band and the project that you all are, the music you want to make together?
I think it was a matter of economy of musicians. We only had 3 people. Didn't want to do any overdubs. So you can either play chords or you can play, a melody. And since her bass lines are super melodic, basically it starts off with her and drums, and then I kind of just come in and ornament the chord progression that's being outlined by what she plays. And so I just play a melody against that. And if I can work in a couple chords here and there, I will, but for the most part, it's just playing a melody against it.
It sounds incredible. And again, love the album. Con todo el mundo is the latest release from Khruangbin. And you stay very, very busy. I know you have a weekly online radio show. Can you talk a little bit about that and the format that takes and how you find all that wonderful music?
Yeah, we haven't done it in a little while just because tour's been keeping us so busy. But when we can, we try to do on Fridays an hour of, it's called Air Krung. And it's our DJ set where Mark and I use Facebook Live as a means to sort of hang out with everyone and listen to records we like. And we're buying records everywhere. I mean, while we haven't been doing the DJ show, we've been collecting for a monster DJ show at some point.
Yeah.
Every city we go in, if we can pick up records, we do. And each week we try to focus on a country or a city and play music from that location. So they're like Air Krung flight to Istanbul, and we'll feature music from there.
Well, it's an incredible resource for discovery, and if you've been building up all that new music, I can't wait to hear the next edition. Khruangbin's live here in the KEXP studios. Tonight they're playing at Numos here in Seattle, and a couple more songs?
Yeah.
Khruangbin live here in the KEXP studios. Con Todo El Mundo is the latest album. Is this next song about your tour manager, Evan?
Secret's out. Yes. 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 Yes.
This is the bad one.
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 Yes.
This is the bad one. Top of the water. Top of the water.
Yes. 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 Yes.
This is the bad one.
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 Yes.
This is the bad one. Top of the water. Top of the water. Top of the water. Top of the water.
Black cat. Yes.
Press one. Press two. Press three. Press one. Press two. Press three.
Hello, KEXP. Yes, this is the third room. Please listen, as my menu options have changed. If you'd like to say hello, press 1.
Hello, hello.
Press 2.
Jump in the water.
If you'd like to know if I'm alright,
Press three.
say, you're alright.
This is the third room.
Yes.
Jump in the water.
Yes.
This is the third room.
That is Evan Finds the Third Room on the new album Con Todo El Mundo from Khruangbin. That sounded fantastic. I meant to ask you, the first song you started, Maria También, I absolutely love that song and such a great video. Can you tell me a little bit about that song and the video?
Yeah. They're kind of unrelated. It was a separate journey for the video, but the director for it, Sanam, she's Persian. She wanted to sort of show clips of old Iran and sort of women in color dancing and sort of show that. And I was sort of hunting down actresses from that time and was going to all of their IMDb pages and realized how full their careers were until 1979 when they all sort of disappeared. So the video is a sort of nod to that feeling.
It's very powerful.
Thank you.
Thank you again so much for coming in, playing tonight at Numos. It was a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This is Khruangbin. You're listening to KEXP Seattle.
Discover new music at kexp.org.